what's the deal with all the boba? What do you mean?
What do you
mean
talking
by
about?
that? It's not like me and my friends are always hankering for like a good or boba fix.
I haven't had boba in like 8 months. What are you talking about? Why did everybody love Jell-O in the 70s?
Youth's over soon, this is the natural law. There's a younger generation, knock, knock, knocking at the door. Knock, knock, knocking at the knock, knock, knocking at the knock, 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 knock.
Hey guys, welcome back to Lazy and Entitled. I'm Esther.
I'm Addy.
And today we are going to be answering some of your questions. We've been getting so many and we decided why not just do an episode dedicated to questions.
To our fans.
Thanks guys. Thank you for the questions. Thank you for wondering about us. Thank you for your curiosity. I love curiosity. It's really important to me. And let's
Esther loves curiosity.
It's one of my
her
things. Yeah. All right, you want to read the first one, baby girl? I have a thing about reading out loud. I'm nervous.
I can read
so
all
Addie's going to be reading.
I actually love reading out loud. I look forward to when it's my turn in class to read something out loud because I think that I'm such a proficient reader.
I count the rows and I know exactly what I'm going to have to read already. It's memorized at that point. Anyway, whatever.
Okay. What words have you heard in the last week that you were unfamiliar with?
Love. I'm kidding. I literally can't think of any words.
I'm trying to think. There are a lot of, I've had the conversation a couple times in the past couple months. When you say a word that you've only read and you say it and someone corrects you on it and like you've just been reading it wrong in your head the entire time. That happened the other day with something.
That happened here when we were recording.
Oh yeah, Matt, what was
Antithetical.
it? Oh, no, it wasn't. I know how to say antithetical.
Antithesis.
Antithesis.
Good try, Matt.
Antithesis. And the other day I've asked, wait, this is kind of stupid, but the word C-A-C-H-E, I asked if it was cash or cache. Because I never know how to say that out loud.
C-A-C-H-E? Mm-hmm. What is it?
Cash.
I think the thing is with a word that you don't know, you hear it, you don't know what it means, or you're reading it, you don't know what it means, you circle it, you go look it up. Okay, I understand that now, but then it goes away.
And for me, because I'm a pompous little bitch, sometimes the minute I learn a word that I didn't know before, I start to use it all the time. When I learned, God, what is a word? I think when I was like 15 and I learned the word palpable, that was in my vocabulary like every 5 seconds. I was using that all the time. Like I had heard it before, but when I had some Socratic seminar style class in my high school and someone said it and I was like, wow, that is just like such a good word to use all the time when you're describing something. I started using it for everything.
I love that.
Okay, how did the pandemic affect your education in retrospect?
Oh, that's a really
That's a toughie.
one.
Wait, that's like a super different vibe than the word question.
Yeah, that's a fucking vibe kill.
How did it? Like,
well, I mean,
in retrospect, that's interesting.
I mean, I was homeschooled, so at the time of COVID, I was going to a high school part-time, so I only took one class a day there, and I did the rest homeschooling. So, and then for the next year, for my senior year, it was a small enough school that we could go back in person, even though a lot of schools couldn't, and I went full-time for my senior year. So, I don't know. I mean, like, honestly, I don't think it really, educationally, it didn't really affect me because of my situation.
Yeah, I mean, I also was there full-time my senior year because I was lucky enough to go to a school in a rural campus, so we had a lot of ways of mitigating indoor classes, and we were able to have outdoor classes. I don't know if... Yeah, we were able to have outdoor classes a lot, and then we had some bigger rooms, and we had implemented mask protocol and
oh my God, yeah,
distancing, and it was tough. And we used to have my school was very hippy-dippy, casual, all of that good stuff. And what changed a lot with COVID when we went back was that they wanted to keep us from being close-knit at the time, which made sense. But we used to have this little like dining hall that we would all eat at, and we would have these tiny little circular tables with like 10 chairs. We would like pull in all our chairs around it, and then after that we couldn't do that. We had to sit like on opposite ends of the table, so there would only be 2 chairs for each table. Like the socialization was tougher, and it made me realize in retrospect how much I had taken that for granted, that the school was conducive to having these close-knit relationships, and then like when that was stripped away for safety protocol, that changed a lot. But I also think it made me a lot more grateful that I could be there, because I knew so many people who just weren't in school, and I was never the type of person to be like, I just love going to school. I just love school.
Yeah.
But then when I was able to go back after having not been around my peers for so long, especially because my parents were like more strict about me not really seeing people in the same way that I had before COVID, like being able to go back to school and just like hang out with my friends again in any capacity. Like I spent so much time at school my senior year, as much as I could, because I just wanted to be around people, and it made me very grateful that I was able to do that, because a lot of people weren't at the time.
Yeah, for sure. For sure. Yeah, I don't know. It was also like, it sucked. Whoa. What kind of cough was that? It sucked for me because I had just moved to this new town, and I was 17, 16, and I was there for 5 or 6 months, and then it was COVID. So it definitely affected me in a social way, which has to do with school, because it was like, that's how I was trying to meet people. And yeah, and my senior year was fucking freezing all the time because we had to leave all the windows open.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, we're all like in class, in our coats, masked up, hands shaking. You can't even write your notes when you're that fucking cold.
Like white knuckling your pencil. It's
yeah,
crazy.
exactly. You can see your fucking breath. Anyway, next one.
Oh yeah, let me pull it back up. Okay. Next up, everyone blames social media for the extraordinarily high rates of mental distress among young people today. Is there anything else going on? Girl, what do you think?
Is that a genuine question?
There's a I don't know if you've turned on the TV or gone outside recently, but there's a lot going on.
There's a lot
going on.
I feel like we could, yeah.
Climate change, for example, genocide, and for example, the high cost of living these days. I mean, I don't know, like there's literally there's myriad examples that I could give you of real tangible things that are separate of, well, not necessarily separate of social media. I think social media gives young people more of a platform to have those things kind of shoved in their face a lot of the time. Like there's that whole element of like, you know, only showing your best side on social media. But I think that has kind of been blown out of proportion by older generations as like what is so like difficult for people to cope with about social media, or like how that makes people see themselves. But I also think a big part of it is just like it literally is a legitimate news source for so many people now.
Yeah,
for
like,
some really upsetting news.
If all of my stress was just from my phone, that would be kind of pathetic.
God, I would be so blessed. I would be like, what a blessing if my only stressor throughout my day was coming from like going on my phone.
Instagram grid stressing me out again.
How do I show people that I'm having fun?
Cash post ?
Anywho, yeah, there's a lot else going on. Do you feel optimistic or pessimistic about the future? I go oscillate. I go back and forth between the two.
Yeah, definitely. I it's not one or the other. It's both, because you can't really be.
It's so much of it is up in the air. Like I was talking the other day about how I recently, or in the past year or so, have come to the conclusion that I actually do want kids, which is not something that I was ever necessarily opposed to, but something that I never really knew if I would or not. But it's like so much of that for me is contingent on like what the world is like.
Yeah,
by the time I want to have a kid.
I was
like,
just talking to Matt about this, because like our generation is the only generation that has to actually think like, okay, if I bring a child into this world,
will they become an old person?
Yeah, exactly. That's like a genuine question that you have to ask before you have kids. All these
like imminent doomsday things people have been talking about for decades are like actually impending now. Like climate change is actually making the world more and more unlivable every day, and we're on a trajectory that is like not looking good. I I'm excited. I want to be an adult who lives like a happily ordinary life. I want to have kids and bring them to school and pick them up and
me too.
go to the park, and I want to like cook with my partner, things like that. But there's so many terrifying things that you don't really know how they're going to turn out.
Yeah.
We're at such a like turning point.
It's hard to be optimistic when when all of these things are your reality. But at the same time, it's good to stay hopeful. You never know what's going to happen. Like, I'm hopeful for the future. I'm not living in a constant state of fear for the future, but I do think that there are a lot more questions we have to ask ourselves and a lot more realistic worries that we have about becoming adults.
Yeah.
I mean, we are adults. Old. Growing old.
Yeah.
Growing up.
Agreed. What are the best and worst fashion trends in your generation? This is good. This is a good one to ask us.
This is
keep
good.
these coming.
Yes. Let's see more of that.
But I'm a little bit.
I know there's a fuck ton. I'm just trying to put my priorities.
Well, I mean, there
here.
have been like so many iterations of trends in our generation, and I also think that they are born faster and spread faster and die faster with social media now, and being able to, I don't know, like they light up an entire demographic and then they die in a couple months. But I think that I really hated, I mean, I totally took part in it. Here's the thing is that, like, for me, whatever trends I participated in 2 years before, or however I chose to present myself 2 years before, 2 years later, no matter what, consistently I'm gonna be like, ugh, what was I thinking?
Yeah.
So I'm sure 2 years from now, I'll be like, oh my God, like, why did I bleach my eyebrows?
I look back at like freshman year Esther. I'm like, who were you?
Yeah, I look back at like 2020, like bleach streak in the hair, indie soft boy clothing era where people were like doing the like blown out colors and dancing to 100 gex. Like that was bad.
Yeah, that was so bad. That was like little denim. Denim overall dresses with the buttons down the front and like a little striped ringer tee with like Adidas superstars and like a windbreaker.
Oh, that was earlier. Like I feel
that's
like that
2018,
was like 2018.
That's like that was a really tough point.
And that was all over my Pinterest board when I was in middle school too.
Like the high-waisted mom jean. Like so bad. Remember when I used to carve my eyebrows?
Oh my God, I carved a notch in my eyebrow in quarantine. That was big. I actually did.
It's
and partially because I have one of my eyebrows I feel like is uneven to the other, and it has this weird little divot on the side of it, and I've always hated that about my face. And so I was like, I could mask this
with the fucking slash.
And this didn't come from me. This was, I mean, that did, but the idea was, it was popular at the time. People were doing that for some godforsaken reason. People were doing that a lot. And I was influenced, and I did it. I actually hated it immediately, and I would cover it up every day.
Cover it up.
Because I carved it a little bit too big, I think. But good thing I had these really unfortunate, like, shelf bangs at the time that I cut myself. So those kind of covered once they grew out, they covered the notch a little bit.
Oh, my God. Wait, let me think of something. Let me think. I mean, there's just, like, number one, just bad quality. Bad quality clothing is so bad. Like, it's terrible to look at. I don't want to see it. Like, on just so many levels, it's terrible for the environment. Like, fast fashion is, you can tell when something is made cheaply. Yeah. It doesn't last. It doesn't feel comfortable. It doesn't look good on you. Like,
seriously, terrible for the environment, terrible for our society.
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
Just bad.
And like, I want to say, part of me wants to say skinny jeans, but I'm not going to say totally no to those just yet. I think a skinny jean can work, but
I have a feeling that they're gonna come back.
Me too.
In a couple months.
Yes,
even.
I have a big feeling that they're coming back. That's why I'm not really trying to throw them under the bus. But a shitty pair of skinny jeans with like the rip at the bottom, you know what I mean? Where it's like kind of frayed and there's like rips on the jean part. That is so bad.
Yeah, that's bad. And also not to be like, cheaply made clothing is bad and ugly because obviously
right.
I just mean fast fashion is bad, but like obviously clothing should be accessible and cheap clothing is more accessible to people, and like literally to participate in trends without participating in fast fashion cycles is pretty hard because when the slip dress trend came back around, a lot of people would buy them online from fast fashion brands because to buy an actual vintage slip dress is like $100. Like it's fucking.
Yeah.
So obviously that with a grain of salt, but it is true that like fast fashion clothing just doesn't look good.
Yeah.
A lot of the time to me.
It doesn't look good, and I don't know. I don't love the.
You know what I hate? Oh, sorry.
Yeah,
no, you go first.
I can't even describe it, so you go.
Acid wash jeans. I hate acid wash.
I don't know what to say to this. I kind of like acid wash jeans because I realized in the last probably like year that I'm very influenced by the 80s, and not like. I think I do it in a way that actually looks pretty cool and works. I think that I always looked at the 80s and was like, that is fucking weird. Like, I do not like that fashion. I don't want to look like that. It's not like the 80s that came back in 2018. It's like a slight variation. And I think that like a big, baggy, oversized acid wash pair of jeans could look cool. Or like the acid wash that are like acid wash and then they're kind of green too.
Yeah, there's
You know what I'm
always
talking
some
about?
exceptions for things that I hate. If people wear them in a cool way,
Yeah.
my mind can be changed.
I think that's why it's hard to talk about it.
But
'cause
generally, like
yeah.
the PacSun acid wash jeans, like take those off
right,
and
right. I
burn
agree
them.
with you.
They're very ugly to me.
Yeah, I
and
totally
I hate
agree.
I hate those jeans that are like pre-pleated, like pre-bleach pleated at the top. I think those are very ugly as well.
Yeah. Bro, the pocket, like the wallet chains, the crappy wallet chains. You know what I'm talking
Chains
about?
were big in 2022. I
Chains
used to
were
wear chains. In my,
big. I think I had a chain, yeah. I wore a chain around my neck.
that whole e-boy, e-girl era was really, really, really bad.
Yeah, I hated that. I hated every fucking minute of that shit.
Yeah.
I'm glad we're out of that.
Me too. I hope it never comes back.
Wait, let me ask you a question. What's your favorite fashion trend
Oh, yeah.
right now?
Well, that was part of it.
Oh, sorry.
No.
I'm sorry, I fucked up.
I like patterns and I like pattern mixing, and I know that that's not really a mass trend, but I've been seeing that some places, and I really like that. I like a lot of stripes. I like a lot of polka dots. I like color blocking. I don't even know if that's like always a trend. Like color blocking in any that's not like, oh, that's the trend now. But I just think in terms of fashion, like I like that bold color and pattern are, I feel like, coming back in a couple ways that they weren't very in style a couple years ago.
Yeah, I agree. I've been really enjoying playing with color as well recently, I think. I've also been, I mean, this is just like forever and always thing, but I love my chunky sneakers. Like I am a chunky sneakers girl. I'm not a
like
heel
grandpa.
girl.
I was so into like grandpa. What are people calling it now? Like grandpa sleeves or something?
like my etnies. I wear this very specific pair of 90s skater shoes that I found at Goodwill, and they don't make them anymore, and they are so cool. I look like a cartoon character when I wear them, and I think that's fun.
Yeah.
I've also been into wearing little skirts as tube tops.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Love that.
Yeah.
I've also been, here's another one. I like that kind of like boho chic western is coming in back, but not in like the
you rock that.
not in like the bad like tweed 2010s way, but in like, I love the fry boots.
Yes.
I love the long kind of layered skirts. I love a good halter top. I guess that's more 70s, but that kind of fits in with that vibe. Like people often pair that kind of thing together. I really like that.
Yeah.
And
you
and know
rock
what?
it.
I like that low waist is back. I think that it can be very classy. I can also think that it can be not look very good.
No,
if people
totally.
don't do it right.
I love a low waist. I love, in many ways, I think it presents itself most in the big baggy jean department for me. You know that's my thing.
Mm-hmm. But I hate barrel jeans. I think those are very strange.
Yeah, that's a good point. Thank you for bringing that
And
up.
that's
Barrel jeans have been popping recently. They're really
They have.
coming
Influencers are. I saw a video about how like someone was laughing about how trends are dying so quickly that social media influencers are like literally scrambling to find something to like push on people, and it's barrel jeans right now, and it really is like,
it's like, what is up with the thigh gap bow leg? I think it's like a barrel jean only works, I mean, when it's like a little bit baggy, like the tight fitting barrel jean, we're really trying to make the barrel. Okay, you know what? They
you
just
look like
I don't
a
like
circus
them.
performer. It's very
I don't
strange.
like them. I don't like them.
All right, next. What's the deal with all the boba? What do you mean?
What do you
What do you
talking
mean by
about?
that?
That's
Sorry.
all we're saying.
What do you mean by that? My mom talks about this too. Why you guys love boba? This is not like a huge generational thing. Plenty of people love boba because I don't know.
Why did everybody love Jell-O in the 70s? Like, I don't know how to answer
Also,
this.
it's not like it was this massive. It probably gained some popularity, but it's not like me and my friends are always hankering for like a good or boba fix.
I haven't had boba in like 8 months. What are you talking about?
Yeah, it's good. It's good, but it's like something that I don't know. What's the deal with smoothies in the morning? You know,
Yeah.
It's just it's something to drink. It tastes good. Next up, this is from a kid who has a question. Are you allowed to eat in class in college? Yes, you are. You're allowed to do so much in college that you're not allowed to do when you're a kid and even when you're in high school.
It depends. It depends, though. I've had classes where we're not allowed to eat. But, yeah.
For the most part, yes, although you might get a weird look from your professor or from your peers.
But, yeah, I'm always, like, eating a granola bar in class, sucking on a lollipop. But I think that this question is also referring to, like, a meal. Like, could you bring a sandwich into class and sit down and start eating it?
That's what I'm
Honestly,
talking
yeah,
about.
I've
Yeah.
done that.
I mean, we have a college cafe sort of place where you can go and get and order a sandwich, and people often run there in between classes and get a sandwich and bring the second half of their sandwich to class.
Yeah,
you can
been
do
there.
that.
It's pretty fun.
Don't even sweat it,
Yeah.
dude. Like you're
You
gonna
can-
be able to eat all you want in college. In fact, you're gonna have to learn how to pace yourself. Okay, this is from Martin. Are we allowed to put that on here? Martin, you want your name on here?
Martin, shout out Martin. Hi.
Are you worried about going into the workplace at a moment when it is being massively disrupted by AI and when the inequities in our society are being magnified rather than addressed?
Yeah, I mean, I think as an artist, as a filmmaker, like there is definitely a valid concern there with AI writing, AI, like, a robot could do my job technically, but it couldn't because it's not a real fucking person with real ideas. But yeah, it's concerning. I think it's concerning in the sense of like work. What's my job going to be? Am I going to be needed? But it doesn't really scare me. It doesn't scare me. I think AI is really cool.
I mean, AI draws from databases that are like inherently racist because our documented histories and general function as Western society are inherently racist and problematic. Not to mention the fact that many of the people programming AI in the first place are white men. So the framework of AI literally has existent disparities built into it, which sort of might be what I feel like Martin was alluding to in this question. Also, technology or like the channels that AI are being used in are often super discriminatory. For example, to aid in methods of urban surveillance. But I also, depending on what it is, like I think that it can. I've had a couple interesting conversations about this because I think that it can take human jobs. Like, I think that that's a valid concern, but I was talking to a family friend who made a case that it can take away some of the stress of having to deal with all facets of like a service job so that you can focus more on the human part of your job. For example, if you work in healthcare, like if technology becomes so advanced that it can diagnose a patient or help assist, I don't know, a surgery or something like that. Like if that technology became widely available, it could give doctors and nurses and people who are sometimes stretched so thin from having so much work to do more freedom within their work to really just focus on comforting the patient and not having such a stress-filled day, which I also think is a positive way of looking at it, that it can give people room to be more happy and more personable in their career.
Yeah. I mean, my dad's an information architect and he designs AI stuff, and he started in the beginning of internet and like Google and all of that, like making search queries. And now he's transitioning into AI And I think that also because of that, I see AI stuff as such a tool, because I see, like, my dad is so into this, like, so excited about it, and he loves to talk about how it works and all the things that it can do. And like, I understand kind of how it works, and I think because of that, I think it's really cool, and I really like talking to my dad about it. I don't know. Next.
So Esther's biased. Next. Just kidding.
I'm a Nepo baby in the AI department.
Okay, next question. Will Gen Zers vote? Yes.
Obviously. Thank you.
Okay, next question. Are they already tired of helping their parents with technology?
I've
I
never
don't
had
know.
to help my parents with technology.
Like, it's not something that this like trope that I feel like is big coming from older generations being like, I'm just blah 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 blah. Like, they're probably so, my daughter has to come over here and help me dial the phone every morning. Like, this is not something that I personally struggle with often.
Yeah.
My mom really does love the voice text option.
Oh,
Like,
my mom loves
we will
that
be in
shit.
public, and she always speaks in her. She's a director, and so often at the beginning of shows, she will come out and give like a speech to the audience beforehand about, please turn off all your cellular devices, what your, your exits are located to the left and here and to the blah. And she has this, we make fun of her for it, she has this announcer voice. She goes, "Good evening, I'm Rebecca Waxman."
Yes, she does.
And she gets like her like sort of slick radio voice on, and she talks like that when she uses the voice to text. She goes, "Yes, XO exclamation point LOL. We'll see you soon. ETA about 2 hours." For example, something like that. It's really funny, but she doesn't need my help. It just is something that I don't really use that tool so often, so it's funny to watch her do it constantly.
My mom uses it and doesn't look to see if it's accurately captured, especially when this was a thing and it wasn't as good at reading your voice. Like, now it's pretty good and it knows what you're saying, but she would never check to see if it had typed it correctly, and you could not understand what she said.
Yeah.
Every time she used it, me and my dad would be like, oh, Mom's using it again. Like, Mom's driving, obviously. We'll just wait till she gets home because I can't even understand this shit. But I mean, no, I think I was bending the truth a little bit when I said I've never had to help my parents with technology. That's not totally true, but
I mean, your dad works in technology, so
Yeah.
he's probably pretty tech savvy.
My dad helps me with technology, and my mom also is an editor, uses her computer. Like, they're both very competent. So
yeah, my stepdad is a dolly grip, so he like knows a ton about, maybe not necessarily more about, like, if I were to go on my phone, I probably would know how to use it the same as him, but like technology, like equipment technology, machinery, like, he's very good with all of that, so he helps us. He teaches us how to use that. He's the most reliable, like, literally knows how to do everything.
So cool. Yeah, he was so good on set.
I think we only have one more.
Okay.
And Kathy wants to know if Gen Zers like to go to movies in the theater.
Yes, we love
So
it.
fun.
Yeah.
I like movie theaters.
I think movie theaters are very important.
I love a reason to like be excited to do something normal. Like, I like to go out to eat. I like to go out to the movie theater. Like, even though these are things I could do in my own home, like, something is so fun about making a little night of it.
Yeah. No, yeah. And watching a movie in a theater is a completely different experience than watching it on your computer. And I'm not coming at people for watching movies on their computer, because a lot of my professors like judge our generation for only watching on their computers.
Well, you're not going to go and give yourself a private screening. Like,
yeah, like, I don't need to go to the theater anymore to watch a movie, so I'm not going to do it all the time, but I love that. It's a great experience for a variety of reasons. Yeah.
I love to have, at my house in Vermont, we have a big white screen that hooks onto the bottom of our, like, shelf of drawers. And it's like big. It's like almost, well, I mean, it's not the size of a movie theater screen, but it's like a makeshift home theater situation. And then we've got a projector, that projects onto that. So I love doing a screening in there in our living room. Like, that's awesome, and a way to not force it into a tiny little computer box. I think that's fun, and we have like a good sound system set up with it.
Yes.
So that's awesome.
The sound is so important.
Yeah,
that's also why going to the theater is awesome.
Seriously,
yeah.
That surround sound doesn't hit the same on the computer.
No, it doesn't.
Oh, we have another. Oh my god, I love this question. Oh my god. How does Gen Z feel about mid-century modern furniture? I love it.
God.
It's actually been my like current hyperfixation.
Don't
Like
even get me
I've been
started.
on Facebook Marketplace looking for mid-century modern furniture all the time. And
MCM, as I like to call it.
I love it. And I love mid-century modern architecture too. Like
my
I want a
God.
fucking conversation pit in my house.
I love mid-century modern architecture and furniture. It is so
I love it.
satisfying.
It's so like practical it's so cool.
It's this like mix between like very artistic, niche, and practical that makes it so cool.
I love it.
Girl, Addy and I are moving in together, and I have a few cute ass mid-century modern things. I have a red metal mid-century modern bread box that like the top slides open. It's so cute. Mid-century modern.
Don't even get me started. I get
Whatever,
so excited.
whatever.
Like I am all over Facebook Marketplace and Craigslist and eBay because I'm just so excited to decorate. I also, this is not mid-century modern, but I actually really like Tiffany style lamps or like Tiffany lamps.
Yeah.
And I really want one of those.
I have a fan that is genuinely mid-century modern.
That's so cool.
I'm surprised it still works. My mom doesn't like it when I use it at home because it like drains all the electricity because it's, you know, old, but it's cute.
We pay our own electric in our building, so maybe we'll
just use it for display.
Yes, of course.
Yeah.
And okay, I've also been really into like lights recently, just all different kinds of lights. I'm really obsessed with searching for little lamps and cute little like I love hanging lantern lights. I think those are so cute when they're used practically or like when they're used to complement this space. I think they are so cute and I love them. I love niche interest lamps. Like I was on Facebook Marketplace and I saw a Paddington Bear lamp and I was like, okay, I need that.
Wait, cute.
So cute.
For the bathroom.
It was so cute. And I go crazy. They don't have to be matching styles. I want all different fucking kinds of lamps. I love them. I love them.
I love it. Sorry, I've been like kind of low energy today, guys. I am really tired. I don't even think I have been, but I feel like I want to make that disclaimer. Like I'm sorry if I'm not being as bubbly as I normally am. I'll be back to normal next week.
We're going to call Esther's 15-year-old sister and ask if she has a question for us.
Hi, girlfriend. I'm going to call you back in a second and you're about to be on the podcast.
Oh, what?
Yeah, okay, bye. Yeah. Okay,
Esther's younger sister is a podcast lover, so we wanted to see if she has any questions because she's awesome and fun and a different generation than us, so we want to know what questions are on the lips of the young.
Yes. And I've just received information that she's with her two best friends who love the podcast, so this is going to be great. Let's call them up. So what should I do, Matt? Is it good? Oh. Whoa. That's in my headphones. It's bougie.
That's awesome.
Wait, so then she could hear this.
That's so cool.
Girl, hey.
Hi.
So we're doing an episode where we're answering like fan questions, and we were wondering if you have any questions. If you don't, that's fine.
I don't know. Like, what's like the theme of your episode?
Do you have any questions for kids our age? About college, about clothing, about anything?
I want to have a good question for you. I want to be on the pod.
Yeah, I know you do. I know you do.
I want to be on the pod.
You guys are so freaking cute.
Fashion's kind of fun. Do you guys have like a basic go-to outfit that you can like build off of when you need to go to
That's
class?
a good question. I always go for either my blue or black oversized denim jeans pants and like a tank top.
Yeah, no, I love that.
I feel like my base outfit is some pair of like semi-low-rise jeans. Like I have this good pair of jeans. They're so tattered at this point because I wear them days and days in a row, but they're like tight on the butt, but then they like get baggy at the bottom.
Yeah, they're so nice.
And I like those, and I like the wash, and I feel like they match everything well. So like my go-to is that with some sort of solid color shirt, and then I'll build off of that with like my scarves, my jewelry, whatever I'm doing my hair as, like whatever coat I'm wearing. Like I feel like that's where I can experiment with like the pops of color and stuff, but that's my like basic fit. Yeah, it's super basic. It's like literally jeans and a tank top,
but it looks so
good. But it's still interesting. Yeah.
Do you have anything else?
I don't know.
That's fine. I miss you.
You've done us really good. Like that was a really good
question.
Thank you.
Yeah. Have you listened to
Esther, for off the record,
Okay,
listen
well, we
to
are
my snap.
Oh yeah. Okay. You're
You're
so
live?
you are so like legit hooked up into the system right now. Like you are being played into all of our headphones, and what the audio you're hearing is coming from the microphone that we record into. That's why it's so crisp.
Oh my
But I
god.
will listen.
Isn't that so cool?
Aren't we?
That is
Aren't we
amazing.
so
My
cool? Tell
sister
me
is,
I'm
like-
cool.
You are.
Are you having a good crazy weekend?
You'll find out if you listen to my snap.
Oh, bitch. Okay. All right. Well, I love you. Bye,
Love you
girls. Have a
too.
good night.
Good
Yep,
luck
you
with your
too.
recording.
Okay, I will. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
Did you answer your own question? Be safe.
That's how fucking tired I am. I go, be safe. I will. Thank you.
Thank you guys so much for your questions. That was a great array.
Yeah.
That was a great little like snack bag of questions. That was awesome.
seriously crunchy.
Keep them coming.
And yeah, if you want to send us more questions, you can email us at lazyandentitledpod@gmail.com. You can follow us on Instagram at
Lazy and Entitled Pod.
Yup. And
Follow us. Like honestly, we should start plugging our own
Yeah.
Instagram. Follow us.
Esther Martell.
I'm Spudrock on Instagram, so that should be easy for you guys to find.
Yup. And just message us. Just we want to say hi. We want to know what you want to know, and we want to.
And we just,
I can't.
yeah. So we want to know what you want to know, and you'll know it. This episode was produced by Matty Rosenberg and Jen Hammoud, as well as ourselves, Addy.
And Esther at Radio Free Rhinecliff. Thanks, guys. We'll talk to you next time.
Mwah. XO.
XO.
This
Bye.
is the
Bye.
natural law. There's a younger generation knocking at the door. Knocking at the knock knocking at the knock knock.